Phase 1 of my trip will take me to the top of North America, to the state of Alaska. More specifically, the Dalton Highway. This is the northernmost road connected to the rest of the continent. On March 13, 1968, the Atlantic Richfield Company and Humble Oil announced the discovery of oil at the top of Alaska in Prudhoe Bay. Just a few years later, they planned construction of the Trans-Alaskan Pipeline to transport oil south for refinement and for shipment from the port of Valdez. Workers needed an access road alongside the pipeline, which prompted the construction of the Dalton Highway in 1974. With the potential of enormous oil profits, construction of the Dalton Highway was fast, and the road was completed in just 5 months. Today, the Dalton Highway remains the sole road linking the far north of Alaska to the population centers of the South. On June 14, 2024, I boarded a flight to Deadhorse Airport in Prudhoe Bay to begin the journey of a lifetime. From the window of the plane, I could see the vast and remote landscapes below that I would soon be traversing by bike. Distances between services up here are great, so I came prepared with 14 pounds of food, which would last me about 8 days. Upon landing in Deadhorse, I built my bike and started south down the Dalton Highway through freezing temperatures and light snow flurries. This is it, the start of the Dalton Highway. For the first 20 minutes, I shivered as I rode across the desolate tundra. Every direction I looked, I could only see flat lands, spotted with snowmelt lakes. I crossed paths with some local wildlife, mostly birds and a few big muskox. All of a sudden the sun came out and it's actually kind of hot right now. I'm gonna probably have to take off my hat and my jacket. This is kind of crazy. This is what it looks like now. There's just suddenly so much less snow on the ground. It's just like empty fields now. Whereas like literally a few miles back that way, it was just snow everywhere and it was freezing. The sun doesn't set on the tundra in summer, so I camped under the midnight sun. Even the dead of night looked like broad daylight. This is 11 p.m. I'm just packing up my stuff here, getting ready for day 2 of the Dalton Highway. Day 1 was pretty interesting. I actually really enjoyed it. A lot of it is just like this empty Arctic tundra like this. I can see the mountains in the distance, so I'm hoping I can get kind of close to them today. I think I'm still kind of on schedule, but yeah, the knees a little bit stiff today, legs stiff, but nothing to do but press on. We've got 2 milestones right here. The road is going to turn into gravel, and we have the first mountain climb. I found my first toilet in a whole day. That's pretty convenient. The second day, the views got much more beautiful as I approached the Brooks Range. These mountains act as a border between the Arctic tundra and the boreal forest. There are some caribou in the distance. Oh, is that a baby caribou? Wow. I found this incredible campsite. It's just off the road. The road is back there, so it's far enough away to just be out of the way. You have complete privacy. But check this out behind me. Is we have the river and the Brooks Range right there, so I can filter water and just have this amazing view. And on top of all that, there's actually a slight internet connection here, so I can actually contact friends and family. That's pretty sick. So we've got some water boiling. We have this that I packaged before I came. It's just mac and cheese with a bunch of mashed potatoes in it. We're gonna add sweet and spicy chunk light tuna into the bag. We're gonna boil the water, pour the water boiling into this bag, and then we're gonna put it into here, and it will cook in about 15 minutes. It probably just looks like mac and mush, which is kind of what it is, but I don't really care. I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat it. So the verdict for mac and mash is that it would have been good, but I didn't use enough water, so the mac didn't really hydrate all the way. So it's kind of crunchy, but I mean, the flavors are there, so it's got that going for it. Day 3 started with a bit of road construction. Bicycles were not allowed on this section of road, so I was forced to wait for the pilot car and lift my bike into the bed of a truck to take a 16-mile ride across the construction zone. So the pilot car dropped me off 16 miles up the road. It was about 400 meters of elevation gain, and it's way colder up here, and now it's a lot cloudy too. I hope it doesn't rain. But anyways, my plan was to go to Galbraith Lake today, but I think I'm very close to it, so I might just try to get a little bit further. While it did feel a bit like cheating, the 16-mile lift really brought me close to the mountains. I just came up this huge hill here. We're at about 900 meters elevation, and I think Atigun Pass is at like 1,400, so we're not actually that far off. We're really getting into the mountains now. This is pretty cool. I think this back here is the Galbraith Lake campground. And then back here is probably pump station 4. This is truly one of the most incredible views I've ever seen. So I have my first experience with the Dalton Highway mud. Yeah, that's what we're looking at here. The Dalton is notorious for being muddy under wet conditions, which can really clog up the gears on a bike. Let's get all that gunk out of there. I don't even think that's a word. It's clogging up my shifters, it's clogging up the brakes. I found this nice place underneath the pipeline. I'm gonna cook some dinner and camp here for tonight. I'm about 20 miles out of Atigun Pass, so we're gonna try to get that done tomorrow, and we're gonna rest the legs up for a good climb. The spots are really nice because it's windy and there's less mosquitoes here. And I have a little bit of shade from the pipeline, so I'm not too mad about that. It's beautiful though. Let me show you some of the views. This is the views we're working with. Atigun Pass is just over that way somewhere. Imagine waking up at your camp to this view. This is incredible. I found this little stream here, so we're gonna use this to try to wash up the bike a little bit. We've been making the most loud noises just from all the dirt and grime grinding in those gears. So I'm gonna try to get that cleaned up before we get over to Atigun Pass. So how is it that there's no cars for 40 minutes, and then as soon as I decide to take a shit, it's like freaking rush hour traffic out here in the middle of the tundra? Well, there's nowhere to hide, so you gotta just do it out in the open. I don't know if you can read this. Probably not. It's too bouncy right now. Climb starting. This is the final push to Atigun Pass. It's gonna be about 430 meters elevation gain from here, pretty much straight up. And then after that, it's all downhill to Coldfoot. Let's get it. I have to come up that way, around, and it's just over there. We've got about 300 meters of elevation left to go, and about 3.5 kilometers. It shouldn't be too bad, but it's gonna get really steep, so we're gonna have to push it, I think. All right, now here's the part where I take the GoPro and I set it up on this little shelf here, and then I'm gonna ride past and you'll be able to see like a time lapse of me climbing the mountain. No, who am I kidding? I'm not gonna do that. I'm not an idiot. I'm only gonna do this once. I'm not stupid. I'm not like those other bicycle touring YouTubers that put the camera down, go all the way up, and then come back down and do it again. I'm just doing this shit once. Once is enough. Once is plenty. We're just going up. That's it. Then we're going down the other side. Oh my gosh, we've made it. So I'm at the top of Atigun Pass, and I met the nicest family ever. They just gave me like 2 Nature Valley trail mix, dark chocolate and cherry bars. They gave me some packs of Crystal Light to put in my water. and they gave me literally 3 Gatorades. They gave me like a small one, and I drank it all, and then they offered me another one. I said I don't think I have anywhere to put it, and then they're like, oh, just pour it in your water bottle. So I poured it in my water bottle, and they gave me another one because it fit. So I've got literally 2 Gatorades. I've got 1 in my stomach already, and I have snacks. It's so kind to the people you meet out here. It's unbelievable. I made it to the top of the pass before the rain came through, but I wasn't so lucky on the other side. First time busting out the rain gear. We're gonna see how it works. My bike computer says it's about 48 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's pretty cold. Not ideal, but I don't think it's gonna last all day. We're gonna find out though. If it is gonna last for a while, I'll probably set up camp soon and try to wait it out. We'll see what happens. I see blue skies, and I think I see trees down there. I think once we get down there, it's gonna be the tree line. That's very exciting. I haven't seen a tree in 4 days. And I'm excited to get out of this rain because it's very wet and cold. So I came down that little hill. All of a sudden, I'm surrounded by spruce trees. It's sunny and it's hot again. I was literally freezing in the rain just a little bit ago in the middle of nowhere with no trees, nothing. And now here we are. It's unbelievable how quickly it changes. Passing the tree line felt like a huge turning point on the day. The dark clouds started to part to blue skies, and I followed beautiful streams downhill towards Coldfoot. I found this pipeline access road, and I doubt that there's gonna be anybody coming through here tonight. So I think I'm gonna set up camp here, cook some dinner, and then get ready to head to Coldfoot tomorrow. That night, I awoke at 4:30 a.m. to the sound of something sniffing around my tent. Was it a grizzly bear? With bear spray in hand, I looked outside. Go! Run! He's following me. I'm gonna pick up camp and get out of here because I don't like him. Not knowing if it was dangerous or not, I picked up camp for an early start. The wolf sat by and watched me the entire time. Holy shit. Is that pavement I see? It was an easy, mostly downhill 35 miles into Coldfoot. This truck stop at the halfway point along the Dalton is the first services since Deadhorse. Finally, I had the opportunity to charge up my devices, grab some real food, and prepare for the next section of the Dalton Highway. While I thought the most difficult section was behind me, I really had no idea what I would be in for between Coldfoot and Fairbanks. They keep just getting you everywhere. It doesn't matter if you have the head net. They'll get your fingers. They're biting through my socks. 50 minutes of double-digit grade, just pushing the bike as hard as I could.
One of the worst experiences of my life.